Good morning to you. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is going to be very exciting because the Christmas season is here, and Gideon 300 store is in the holiday spirits. To celebrate this festive occasion, they have increased their inventory to include gift items such as children and adult books. They have ethnic mugs, placements, Kinty wrist and watch bands. More important, they carry ethnic watches. These fine watches have a genuine leather band with various ethnic faces. For this holiday season, they are offering 15% discount on all watches, selected clothing, masks, and bargains like you have never seen. Gideon 300 store will celebrate its first year anniversary on December the 13th. Are invited to come out and help them celebrate. We would like you, our valued customers, to know how much, we just want you to know how much we appreciate your business. Thank you for your continued support. They look forward to seeing you, and that's from Dr. Denise S. Oyasaya, who is the manager. And incidentally, they will give you a discount. Today's show is going to be an interesting show because you are interesting. And I would like to say that I hope you have had a wonderful week. And I'm very, very happy that one of our own, Estreleta Doolin, who received a law degree from the University of Texas, has been admitted to the bar of Texas, and my cousin Judge Morris L. Overstreet of the Texas Criminal Court of Appeals administered the oath to, and now Attorney Doolin will be practicing law in Texas. And she will be working with the Goldsmith International law firm that has nearly 800 employees. Many of you will remember her. She received a bachelor's degree in journalism from the University of Oklahoma. Then she got her master's of business administration as well as a law degree from the University of Texas. She's a daughter of Gloria Prim of Arcadia and Reverend Alfred Doolin of Spencer, Oklahoma. So many times we drive by and we never think about what's happening in our community. And today we are going to take an inside look at Metro Tech. How much do you know about it? I don't know what you know about it, but I do know know a lot about Metro Tech because I have the information in my hand. This part of our program is brought to you by Gates Barbershop, and his nephew will be there working with him today. It's located at 2609 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City. You may go by Gates Barbershop and get that haircut that will make you look good. We make people beautiful. That's the slogan. Well, today I'm going to give away 200 pounds of chitlins, and I hope that you will win. The telephone number is 672-1220. Now, don't you call until I answer the question. Don't just get the line and hold. And all I want is an answer. I don't want a lot of details. Dr. A.L. Dial is located at 934 Northeast 8th Street in Oklahoma City. You may call for an appointment. The number is 235-0536. Dr. A.L. Dial is my optometrist, and he will look in your eyes and tell you exactly what's wrong, and will get the glasses that will fit your personality. If it's insurance that you're talking about, let's go out to Maryland's telephone number at Allstate, 8430811. Johnson Shadina is located at 1643 Northeast 50th Street in Oklahoma City. The telephone number is 424-4656. Well, discount carpet and furniture ready to go. 501 Northwest 23rd Street, where you can get that furniture that you know you will enjoy. They have mattresses and they have carpet. It's a discount store. They have quality mattresses, and you can get them from $39.95 on up. They specialize in commercial jobs, churches, and they have done churches all over Oklahoma, Texas, and New Mexico. They will give a 10% discount to all citizens. and they have carpet that's purchased at a low price. Have you seen the dining room tables and chairs? If not, go to Discount Carpet located at 501 Northwest 23rd Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It's time now to send that beautiful wife of yours some flowers. All you have to do is call 528-7659. Ask for exotic plants and florists. Ask Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, Sylvia. Uh, ask her for what. Ask her what would be best. What suits your personality? Exotic Plants and Florists, 3620 North Lincoln Boulevard in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I know you're waiting now for the first question because I do have 200 pounds of chitlins to give away. I'm going to ask you a question and you better answer it quick. You know the story of David and Goliath. David killed Goliath, but I want to know how many stones did David have in his slingshot? Since you're a Bible student, how many stones did David have in his slingshot? I will only accept the answer from First Samuel. So if you have an answer, I won't accept your answer. How many stones did David have in his slingshot? This is a Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is an exciting show because today is the day that big Afro Expo started in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I will be there. I will be there selling books, my books. I will be selling my books, and you love Clara Luper so much. Do you love her enough to buy a book? Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
I believe I have that answer.
Well, don't believe, just give me the answer.
One.
Oh, you're exactly one answer wrong. Thank you. Don't confuse the question. I didn't ask you how many stones did he kill Goliath with. You know, he had a bag with some stones in it. How many stones did David have in his a slingshot? Well, I will be there, and I will be there with my book, Facts About the Black History Monument and Walls, and that book can be purchased today for only $16. It would take you $500 worth of time to even start looking for the information that's in that book. Clara Luper, hello?
Yes, good morning. He
Yes.
has a total of 5 smooth stones.
You are exactly right. And what is your name?
My name is Joe Reed.
Joe Reed, you are right. He had 5 stones and you have some chitlins. Okay? You will give your address and telephone number, and you can pick up. I will take your certificate down to the Afro Expo today. And you can come down there and pick it up, or you can come by Freedom Center on Monday and pick it up. And thank you so very kindly for calling. 5 stones and not one. He had 5. He used one to kill Goliath. Okay, my next question. How old was David when he became king? When he was anointed a king, he became the king of Israel. I just need to know how old he was. The telephone number is 672-1220. 672-1220. Congratulations to the class of 1957 from Dungy High School that celebrated last week. And it was a celebration. My own student, Johnny Farmer, was the MC and did a terrific job. The devotion was by Darlene Johnson Reed and Joe Carr. Joe Carr prayed a prayer, and I was just so happy I wanted to shout. The welcome was given by John Hinton, and the occasion was given by Frank James, and then Claudette Anderson Murphy called the class roll, which was interesting. We had a delicious dinner of prime rib. Hello, prime rib. Hello?
12 years old, David was.
How old was he?
12.
12 years old when he became king of Israel?
Yeah.
Oh, you're wrong. Thank you for calling anyway. Well, they had a memorial service for the classmates that had paid the final debt. That was Velma Frazier, Evans, Ted Jones, Norma Wilson, Stevens, Gilbert Tamkins, and Maxine Peoples conducted that service, and it was beautiful. They allowed the students to reflect over their experiences at Dungy School. Then the classmates had a song that they really put a lot in. But I would like to congratulate Doris Luster Mukes and Lily Hastings Buckner, who gave remarks, and Reverend Park and that benediction and all. The teachers of Dungy High School was honored, and I've got to read what mine say. I think all of them say the same thing, but I'm going to read mine to you. Dungy High School, class of 1957, says, thank you, Clara Luper, for your devotion to students and for believing in us. Because of you, we become accountants, administrative assistants, administrators, auto workers, business executives, cashiers, construction workers, cosmetologists, counselors, dressmakers, engineers, fashion designers, federal and state government employees, firemen, homemakers, insurance specialists, janitors, medical technologists, mechanics, ministers, missionaries, musicians, nurses, secretaries, and teachers. What a day. Oh, this is so beautiful. I just had to tell you about it and show it off. I would like to thank those students, and did they look good? Oh, well, anyway, this is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and you're ready for, you haven't answered that. I asked you how old was David when he became king of Israel. Oh, I'm waiting for your answer, 6721220. You might not know the answer to that one. I'll give you another one. Who wrote the book of Proverbs? Oh, I love that book of Proverbs. Who wrote it? Who wrote the book of Proverbs? Okay, that's another one. Let's see if you know the answer to that. Clara, this is Clara Luper, and Clara Luper would like to extend holiday greetings to you today. I would like to extend holiday greetings to you from United Drug Store, located at 102 Northwest 36th Street with Mr. Graham. He says for each one of you to get in the holiday mood, and you can go up to United Drugs and get some of the presents that you want. Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs.
You are exactly right. And what is your name?
DeAndre DeWalmore.
Wonderful. Oh, give your name and everything to this executive that's here getting names from me today. Thank you. I still want to know how old was David when he became king, because some people say, well, you too old, you too young. Let's see how old was David when he became king. Holiday greetings are extended to you from Roth Funeral Home at 2936 Northeast 36th Street. The Roth family would like to thank you for your support through the years. You have been with them and they are with you. They are interested in you as individuals, and they are taking time out to say to each one of you, thank you, and may God bless you during this special season. Oh, I have an answer. Hey, I'm ready. I have an answer. Okay, if you know how old David was when he became king of Israel, you let me know, because I want to know. You've told me who wrote the book of Proverbs, and I'm waiting for an answer. Hello? Do we have an answer? If you don't know the answer, try. If at first you don't succeed, try again. What did Solomon say is the beginning of wisdom? And I know that's what you want to know out there, but what did Solomon say is the beginning of wisdom? What did Solomon say is the beginning of wisdom? Come on and answer. I have two out there for you, and I want you to be sure and answer those questions for me. Once again, I would like to congratulate the Dungy High School class of 1957. They really honored their teachers, and that's one thing about it. They really honored their teachers, and certainly they honored us because we learned more from them than they did from us. Clara Luper, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I know that answer.
What is it?
30. David was 30.
Yes, and who is this?
David Hall.
David Hall, you know about David.
I
David,
know
you
him.
win those chillings every week. I'm so proud of you. How did you know Solomon was 30 years old?
No, David.
I mean, David was 30 years old when he became king.
I've learned that in Bible school.
Oh, well, great. I'm so glad you have attended Bible school. Thank you so very kindly. Now, the question is, what did Solomon say is the beginning of wisdom? What did Solomon say is the beginning of wisdom? And the next question, since you know so much, who was Solomon's father? Who was Solomon's father? I have two questions out there after you, and I want you to grab them and call me 672-1220. Yes, I'll be down to the Afro Expo with my books. You love me. I know you love Clara Luper, but do you love me $16 worth? Do you love me enough to buy one of my books? And I will autograph that book for you. Now, today I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to get out your pencils and paper because I want you to know about this. Metro Tech is located on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. It's located probably Spring Lake Park and Martin Luther King. But how much do you actually know about it? And I went out this week seeking information, and I've invited a young man to give me some information about it. And I want to know some answers. I read the annual report, and it really surprised me. I would like to read from this annual report. It states that special recruitment activities are still focused on the underrepresentation of Hispanics and Asians and American Indians. Now, that's the statement. I would like to read that statement in the annual report. Special recruitment activities are still focused on the underrepresentation of Hispanics and Asians and American Indians. And that stirred up my curiosity. If that's true, then how many blacks are out there? That's what I want to know since they are during special recruitment activities. And I want to read it over. Don't say Clara Luper, say it. I'm reading it. Special recruitment activities are still focused on the underrepresentation of Hispanics and Asians and American Indians. Didn't say anything about black folks, Negroes, Africans. It say special recruitments are still focused. Evidently, they have been focused on others a long time. Well, just reading that, and then I had to go out and look for some information, and this is the information that I found. I found that in administration they have 17 whites, 3 blacks, 2 Hispanics, and 1 Native American. For professional staff out there, they have 72 whites, 27 blacks, 1 Hispanic, and 6 Native Americans. For skilled crafts, they have 5 whites, no blacks, no Hispanics, no Indians. For technicians, they have 4 whites, no blacks, no Hispanics, and no Indians. For office and clerical help, they have 45 whites, 21 blacks, 3 Asians, 3 Indians, and 1 native, 3 Indians, 3 Hispanics, 3 Indians, and 1 native. I hope I have that right. Let me go back over it. Office and clerical, they have 45 whites, 21 blacks, 3 Asians, 3 Hispanics, and 1 native. And yet, I'm going to read this to you, what it says in the annual report. Special recruitment activities are still focused on the underrepresentation of Hispanics and Asians and American Indians. Doesn't say anything about blacks. Now, in the service maintenance, the janitors and all of that, blacks are leading. They have 28 blacks, 23 whites, 1 Hispanic, and 1 Indian. Clara Luper. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
The fear of the Lord.
You are exactly right. And what is your name?
I'm Eunice Littlejohn.
Eunice Littlejohn, you are exactly right. That's what Solomon said is the beginning of wisdom, the fear of the Lord, and we better listen to that. Okay, thank you, and you will give the information to our staff member here.
Thank you.
I asked you who was Solomon's father, and you haven't answered me. You don't have much time because I do have a distinguished guest with me today, and we will be talking about Metro Tech. Today is the day that the Lord has made, and we're going to have to rejoice in it. Let me ask you a question about presidents of the United States. Who was the president of the United States during World War I? Hello, this is Clara.
Hello.
Yes.
God bless you.
Yes.
Solomon's father was David.
You are exactly right. And what is your name?
Pinky Sturgis.
Pinky, thank you so very, very kindly.
Okay.
Now we leave the Bible and we go to the presidents of the United States. Who was the president of the United States during World War I? The telephone number is 672-1220. Hurry up and answer because I've got to go through all of these questions. I want you to have these chitlins. And I want you to love your chitlins. And chitlins, that's another interesting story. Who was president of the United States during World War I? Do I have the answer? I should have the answer because you history students out there know who was president of the United States during World War I. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and I'm reading from that annual report at Metro Tech. It says special recruitment activities are still focused on the underrepresentation of Hispanics and Asians and American Indians. Didn't say anything about blacks. Maybe that's a misprint. Let me see if those words black or Afro-American will pop up. Well, I have Mr. Gordon out here, and he's going to be answering some questions for me. So you stay tuned and tell the people if they want some answers, they better call us, and let's see what the problem is. There are a lot of white folks that love the east side. They love to work over here, and after work, they head back north, east, west, south. But anyway, we'll know because we know special recruitment activities. I should say that finally, down here in another paragraph, they say community minority outreach based organizations are still being contacted. They have contacted the Urban League, the Native American Center, the NACP, the American Training Institution, the State Department of Rehabilitation Service, and Latino Community Agency. Well, they haven't contacted the NACP Youth Council. We are right up the street from them. Hello? Hello? Okay, well, I can't hear you, and you are... create a special recruitment activities that are still focused on underrepresentation of Hispanics and Asians and American Indians. I want to know, you are on the board. What's the problem over there? What's the problem as you see it?
The problem, as I see it, is a lot of discrimination against minorities, especially blacks. This problem has been addressed for quite some time by me and several other members of the board. But by being only one member of a board of 5 until recently, when Mrs. Sarah McKinney, another black who was elected, we had a hard time working with the board.
Have you fought for blacks over to Metro Tech?
Metro Tech and Tinker every day.
Okay, let's just deal with Metro Tech.
Metro
That's all I
Tech,
want to
I've
deal
fought
with.
for blacks ever since the day I was hired. I was appointed there by former Governor George Nye.
Okay, now when you got over there, I understand that they brought a young lady in from Tulsa. Her name is Carrie Wilson, and she wanted to fire a black secretary. What did you do?
I fought that vividly. You don't come in with not knowing what the system is and get rid of employees, loyal employees, and very competent employees. You don't do that. The board even agreed with me in not letting her fire that lady.
All right, now, I noticed I called out the black teachers they had and black. Why is it that you don't have more blacks in administration at Metro Tech?
First thing, the board doesn't do hiring. The staff does the hiring, and the board approves what the staff does. It's a constant battle with some of us, at least 3 of us, to get more blacks involved. The statement you read earlier, we don't have any Spanish and other groups going to school, and there's a reason.
Wait, you don't have any Spanish going to school over there?
No, not many.
You have the majority of the students over there. What kind of students?
Most of them are black students.
Most of them are black students, but most of your administrative staff is white.
Yes, I understand very, very well, and that's has been my problem, and I can't do it by myself, and 2 of us can't do it, and we can't do it with 3 people. We need 4 to vote.
I want to know, does Carrie Wilson interact with District 5 residents?
Well, as a representative of District 5, I've never seen her react with it. All I've seen her to say is, first thing, that the SAGE program on 40th in Oklahoma, she wanted to close that because she said most of the blacks who go to school there are very good in math, and the reason they're good in math, they deal in illegal substance, and I fought that.
What, she said that?
Yes.
She made that statement
Yes.
that most of the blacks deal in illegal substance?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the way she interacts with District 5 residents?
I don't think she interacts at all with District 5 residents.
What is her opinion of the school being located on Martin Luther King Avenue?
Well, the question that she asked, why was that school put there? It should have been put somewhere else where we had better attendance. I said, well, where else could you put it? We had a park here that was vacant. We needed it, and we bought it. So what's wrong with it? And it's a very, very beautiful campus, and I am personally proud of it by being the chairman of the Building and Construction Committee. I've seen that campus become pretty We add on. We hire blacks, construction people. I insist that, and I would always insist that we patronize black builders and construction people.
There's a lot of building going on at the Spring Lake campus. What do you think about the building? Building.
I have no problem with that because it's a need. It's a need for the school, and for all the students, secondary and students. But I have a problem with the architect that was hired. We've had more change orders on this contract than we ever had any before, and the architect is Benham Group, which was have an idea that something went wrong in the hire that group. No use. They never had that many change orders before. They came in under bid. Then our people had to go back and change some drawings. So why should we pay an architect 6% or more? Then we had to do the drawings ourselves to make it conform to the
Who
city
selected
code.
the architect?
The board selected, but it came out with a 4-3 vote, as most things do. And
4-3.
By being the chairman of the Building and Construction Committee, I voted against the present contractor.
All right, now.
I mean, present architect, not contractor.
I understand that the executive director out there would like to get rid of you.
Oh, very much so. In fact, she has attempted to file a lawsuit against me by trying to help the Aviation Career Center. She accused me of taking a kickback. And all I'm doing is trying to help the school. I've been working in aircraft over half my life, and I know what's going on in the aircraft world.
Well, isn't she on 2 or 3 boards? I heard that they didn't want you on the board because you was on another board.
You're talking about one of the board members.
One of the board members,
Yeah,
yes.
she's on a couple boards herself.
She's on a couple of boards.
Yes.
But they're criticizing you because you're on the board.
Yes.
I understand that they're going to get somebody to run against you.
I heard that a lady by the name of Donna Thomas. I don't know Miss Thomas, Ms. or whatever name. I don't know her.
Do you think that that will make Carrie happy to have somebody to run against you?
Oh yes, especially if she wins, because she can control what the board is in. I'll be the thorn out of her side.
Okay, you will be a thorn out of her side if you are not elected. When is that election coming up anyway?
January, I think the second Tuesday in January, 1998.
Okay, and you are going to run again.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you better have the people out there to vote for you.
Yes,
and tell us
ma'am.
what you're doing.
Well, I will do that, and I have no problems with my record, and I feel very
Your record is straight. You have been out there fighting for blacks.
since 1982, and will continue to fight until the day I die.
All right, you are just a fighter anyway, right?
Well, I try to
You
be.
are a fighter, Mr. Gardner. Now, one thing that I want to know for sure, I want to be sure of this. You have fought for blacks to be employed at Metro Tech.
Also, and women, also black women.
Women.
Yes.
I notice this. You don't have many black women out there, do you?
No, of course, I'm aware of that. I've tried my best to correct that problem, but I get shut down. As I said earlier, I only have one vote, and we have, it's usually a 3-4 vote, and so.
Okay, well, if Clara gets another vote, she can control the board, right?
Yes, with no problem.
She's not an Oklahoman. She lives in Tulsa, is
No,
that right?
She's from Tulsa. I think she's from Midwest City, I heard. But when she lost her job in Tulsa, she was a county superintendent in Tulsa, and somebody cut the county superintendent's jobs out. I think that came from the state legislature. The school board in Tulsa wouldn't hire her because of a racial record.
She had a racial record and brought it to Oklahoma City.
Yes, vividly, very so.
Okay, we're going to invite Mrs. Carrie Wilson to be our guest on the Clara Luper radio show.
Good.
We would like to hear her side of the story.
Good.
And she says that the reason the kids, do we still have the SAGE program?
No, she cut that out.
She cut the SAGE program out.
Yes.
Well, where are the students that were in the SAGE program?
She's trying to work somewhere. She's trying to get approved, get adjudicated youth, and we only have 2 now. So
To what?
Adjudicated youth attending where the SAGE was.
Oh, I see. Hello?
Hello,
Yes.
the representative that was from Tulsa, Ben Hill.
You are exactly right, Reverend Ben Hill. And what is your name?
Joy Hall.
Joy Hall, you are exactly right. One of my favorite, Ben Hill. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and I'm talking to Mr. Warren Gardner, a member of the Board of Education for Metro Tech. And it's a funny thing. Now, you have to watch this. Anytime you see a black that's fighting openly against race relations, they do them just like they did Thomas. That's how we got Thomas, Judge Thomas. Somebody said, "Oh, you're a good Negro. You're a good colored man. You're a good white." Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
The black businessman that helped the NAACP, Cecil L. Williams?
No, you're wrong on that one. Cecil didn't carry them down there on that first day. Try again, and you did well. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and we'll be talking to Mr. Gardner. And I understand that you are running again. Ask
Yeah.
the people out there to support you if
Well,
that's what you're doing. It'd be a shame if the people wouldn't support a man that's out there fighting for them.
Well, my record is open for the books. Anybody can look at it, and I would definitely would appreciate your vote and your support, and keeping me on Metro Text board for the next 4 years.
Thank you so very kindly. I'm going to invite you to come back and be with us. Mr. Gardner, you've been very informative for me today. Mr. Willie Lee Gamble was buried on Thursday. He was buried on Thursday. Mr. Gamble, the barber. Mr. Gamble, born in Texas, attended elementary and high school in Texas. Mr. Gamble, the barber, the friend, came to Oklahoma City in 1969 and moved to and started cutting hair and working at Oklahoma Natural Gas. He was a worker. They loved him. Mr. Willie Gamble was a caring person who was always willing to help. And every Saturday after this broadcast, I would go by Gates Barbershop, and he would go relive with me the moments of my radio broadcast. Somebody called him a master barber, and somebody called him a die-hard Dallas Cowboy fan. But God called Willie Gamble home on November the 27th while in Dallas, where he had taken his beautiful wife to attend a Dallas Cowboy game. His funeral was held at Temple's Funeral Home. The chapel was filled to capacity. Oklahoma Natural Gas, it turned out like this reporter had never seen it before. There were conversations. Reverend Dallas read the scripture from the 90th Psalm. Reverend Crawford read from the New Testament. Reverend Lee A. Denson delivered a prayer, and then a solo, I'll Fly Away. Acknowledgments was made by Sister Scobie, and then Brother Roosevelt Turner sang. But the eulogy was well delivered by Reverend Allen Threet, who said, "To everything there's a season, and life is full of surprises." But today, one of the members of Fifth Street Baptist Church is dead. He was more than a member of the Fifth Street Baptist Church. I call him one of mine. And if any person loved Clara Luper, it was Mickey Anderson. Mickey Anderson is dead. His funeral services will be held on Tuesday at 11 o'clock at the church that he loved so well, located at 801 Northeast 5th Street in Oklahoma City. He was many things to many people. Many of you remember him in the sit-in movement. Do you remember him as one of the Minutemen? Many of you will remember him as a son of Mr. and Mrs. Alster Anderson. Or you remember his brothers, Austin and John. Yes, but most of all, you remember Mickey Smile, who worked at Tinkerfield and who climbed the ladder of success. And as he climbed the ladder, he didn't forget where he came from. He would come to church often, and he would say, "I've got to make a decision." And he made a decision, and he became a minister. And I have invited Samuel Craig, one of the Minutemen that walked the streets of Oklahoma City with Mickey, to come here and tell me about Mickey as you knew him.
Thank you, Mr. Luper. As you know, Mickey and I were friends for 46 years, and he was very special to me. As many of you know, I'm an ordained Methodist minister, and Mickey and I spent many an evening discussing various passages, various scriptures, and various stories of the Bible as it related to us as young men growing up. But the thing that I remember Mickey most about and that I'll always cherish about him is that he was a fighter. And he never gave up, regardless of how the cards of life were dealt him, regardless of how the storms beat upon his life, he never, ever gave up. Mickey, most of you know, had many tragedies in his life, many situations that the average person could not endure, could not stand. But Mickey would always come back. He would always rebound, as they say, to try something new. He was not an individual who would give up. I'm reminded of a story in the Bible concerning a man that had an infirmity for 38 years. It's in the Gospel of John, the 5th chapter. And this man was at this pool of healing for such a long time. Now, my question is, what if he gave up? What if through those 38 years he said, I'm not going to go to that pool anymore because I can't get the blessing? What if he'd have given up? And I'm reminded of my friend Mickey, and I'm not going to say goodbye to my friend. I'm going to say so long, because my theology teaches me that I will see my friend again and that I'll share moments with him again in the hereafter. I remember Mickey and always will love Mickey as more than a friend, but as a brother. I was speaking to some of my workers at the VA hospital and was telling them about my friend Mickey, and they were saying, well, wow, that's like a family member. If you know somebody for 46 years, then they become more than a family, more than a friend. They become a family member. But it's very emotional for me because I love Mickey and I will miss him. But at the same time, I want you to remember him as someone who never, ever gave up. That's how I remember him.
And thinking of that, and certainly we will all remember Mickey, and once again, his funeral will be held at the church where he preached, where he grew up, where he attended Bible school on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. And Sam, that reminded me of Mr. Gates. Mr. Gates and Mr. Gamble had worked together, and Mr. Gates stood with tears running down his cheeks as he related his experiences with a friend. And he said farewell to Mr. Gamble. I'll see you someday. This portion of our program is brought to you by EMS Building Maintenance. Call it EMS, but call it EMS. Mr. Lou McCullen is the owner, located at 3228 South Boulevard, number 142 in Edmond, Oklahoma. And if you want some maintenance done on your building, take this number down, 3404286. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show. Hello?
Hello, I was calling to answer the question of what happened and what woman started it on December 1st, 1950.
Yes, I need that answer. What is it?
It was the bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama, and Rosa Parks started.
And what is your name?
Tamika Cooksey.
Tamika Cooksey, we're going to see you in that big parade this evening. You'll be riding in that parade at 5:30 downtown in Oklahoma City, that Christmas parade, and you are Miss Black Oklahoma City, and you are smart. You are going to get some chitlins, and Miss Black Oklahoma City will have some chitlins. I would like to ask one more question to Mr. Warner. Mr. Warner, I want to know Mrs. Wilson's opinion of the school being located on Martin Luther King Avenue.
Very, very poor opinion. Her concerns was why would a school be built in that part of town, where there were other parts of town. I think we talked about that earlier, but that's a constant thing that bothered her, and I don't know why. People come from there from all parts of the city and are very, very proud of the training that they receive there. And I want to say this to you. I wish more people from the Northeast community would attend some of those classes. They are very, very reasonable. And if you pass 65, you get to come free. And our rate of employment, of sending people to work is very, very good. In fact, I'm a product of that school myself. After getting my degrees, I went back and learned how to work computers, which was hard at first, but by being at my age, I didn't want to get to know the good things, the new things going on. But it's a must. We all need to update ourselves because we got a change in technology in the world. The world is changing. If you don't learn, nobody's going to learn for you.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner. Carbon Realty would like to extend holiday greetings to you. It's located at 3673 North Everett Street in Oklahoma City. The telephone number is 427-8311. Once again, Mickey Anderson's funeral will be held at the 5th Street Baptist Church at exactly 11 o'clock on Tuesday. Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
I would like to answer the question about the first businessman that worked with NAACP.
Yes,
His name was Portwood Williams.
you're exactly right. It was Portwood Williams that took a group of students downtown on August 19, 1958. Thank you for all of your answers. And no one has answered the question about the town where the blacks gathered to go back to Africa. And we still have that question hanging. You mean to tell me you don't know that town? You haven't found that out. Well, let me close with one question about how many people were victims of the slave trade. How many people were victims of the slave trade? You can only find that answer in Clara Luper's book, but if you know it, you know it. Today has been a very difficult day for us. But we know one thing that we've got to overcome. So many times, Sam, you remember Mickey and all of us standing with hands in hands singing, "We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday." Just hum a bit of that for me, Sam. Because I know we are going to overcome someday. Mickey Anderson has overcome.
We shall overcome.
It was at Fifth Street Baptist Church. It was at St. John.
We shall
It was at Calvary Baptist Church.
overcome.
It was at Cleves CME Church.
We
That song rang
shall
out.
overcome.
Mickey Anderson and the Minutemen were there.
Someday.
I never shall forget the Minutemen going down to Bishop's restaurant. They got up early one morning because usually the doors were blocked. But Mickey Anderson, Samuel Craig, and others say we are going early this morning, and they went early. They went down to Bishop's and they stood there. Oh, they were confident that they were going to overcome. Mickey Anderson lived through the revolution. He lived to travel all over this country at a high position. He climbed the ladder of employment success. He went to the top. But most of all, he became devoted to his God. And now he's going home. And I know that there was a meeting with his mother, Essie.